Since the Columbine High School shooting, the media has monopolized on our fears, and as such, schools have now become a place where police officers walk. Schools have also implemented a zero tolerance policy where certain actions are a one size fits all punishment. For example, a second grader was suspended for chewing his Pop Tart into a gun and saying bang bang. Obviously, this student was not meaning to threaten anyone with his Pop Tart, but because of the zero policy the school had, the student was suspended. It is in circumstances like these where the teacher has to make a judgment call. When misbehavior occurs in the classroom, the teacher has to decide if the misbehavior warrants a referral to the office where administration would then handle any discipline. What should be reserved for only major behavior problems turns into a way for the teacher to remove a student for minor misbehavior. Students who are referred to the administration for discipline are at a higher risk for suspension or expulsion. Disciplinary actions in school is like a rock in water. It is the cause for the ripple effect. Disciplinary actions lead to the dropout rates, which in turn lead to involvement in the justice system. One would believe that the disciplinary actions that are taken are just and deserved. However, many of the disciplinary actions are not due to a student injuring another student or even violence, but it is due to disruption. Is it justice that a classroom disruption causes a life-altering consequence? Suspension has been on the rise since the 1970s, and the fact is, suspension does not improve behavior. Students who have had more than one disciplinary action against them is at a higher risk of dropping out, and in turn, at a higher risk of involvement with the justice system. Another consequence of suspension or in-school suspension is the fact that the students fall behind academically because they are missing instruction or missing quality instruction. What is eye-opening is who was impacted the most from the school to prison pipeline. The statistics show that there are 8.6% of the public school students who have a learning disability, and 32% of the population that are in the juvenile detention centers have a learning disability. Black students are also overrepresented when it comes to disciplinary actions. Therefore, if a student is Black and has a learning disability, they are more likely to have a disciplinary action against them. Fowler stated, in Texas, African American special education students are 3.5 times more likely to be sent to in-school suspension, almost 6 times more likely to receive out-of-school suspension, 4 times more likely to be sent to a disciplinary alternative school, and 3 times more likely to be expelled. It doesn't have to be this way. Schools can change these statistics. The biggest player in this change would be the classroom teacher, but the classroom teacher would need support and better training on how to deal with misbehavior. One way to help these teachers is with an implementation of a positive behavioral interventions and supports. PBIS. PBIS encourages teachers to acknowledge positive behaviors displayed by the students. It encourages teachers to explicitly teach school-wide expectations and classroom expectations. PBIS uses data to pinpoint where the misbehavior takes place and when it occurs the most. This helps teachers and administrators know where they need to improve and what expectations need to be taught. There are consequences to misbehavior, but the goal is to keep students in the classroom learning where they belong. PBIS is a way to replace the zero policy and to give heed to consequences that make sense, so we do not have second graders suspended because a Pop-Tart was eaten so that it was left looking like a gun.